I make see again.
Hi everyone and welcome to another Team Talk. I am Matt Print from Fitness with Matt. I'm going to be giving you some top tips to help you relax and switch off, because right now I'm hearing people are being really overwhelmed because they're reading a lot of the news, they're consuming the news a lot. So I'm going to give you some top tips to help you relax and switch off, because I think it's really important to look after your mental health at times like this. Team. A lot of us have been, very saddened and distressed by what we see on the news. And nowadays it is very easy to over-consume what's going on in the world. Of course, it is so super important to stay informed, but sometimes we can overconsume. It can start to affect our mental health and well-being. And if we want to be the best we can to help support those who need our care, we need to make sure we're taking care of ourselves and our mental health. So how can we best navigate maybe the next few weeks from our very privileged, blessed and humble position that we can control these things? Well, number one, limit your news consumption. Don't spend all day on the news, watching the news channels, every 2 seconds checking your phone for any updates, because there's a lot of distressing imagery. Yes, by all means, I think it's really important we stay informed and aware what's going on in the world, but overconsumption can really get you down. A bit like during the pandemic, people were doom scrolling, and it can really have an effect on your mental health and well-being, because you're constantly feeding yourself this negative imagery, which of course is happening and it's terrible, and I'm not taking away from that. But if we are looking at protecting our own mental well-being, we need to put that space in and not overconsume the news. Number two, when you think of something which worries you, try and balance this by thinking about something which brings you happiness or brings you hope or positivity. So balance it out. Every time you're worried about something, put it into context and think about something different, something positive that's happened. Like they always say in any disasters, look for the people going to help. There is always hope. So try and balance any worries and negative thoughts you may have with something a bit more positive. Next, practice some practical mindfulness. So what's practical mindfulness? It's about being in the moment completely. So it might be as simple as when you are washing up, you are literally there focusing on the task in hand. You're not letting your mind wander onto other things and think about other things and maybe worry about what's happening in the world. You are fully engrossed in the task. It's a bit like I've spoken about before. For me, I find baking and cooking and being in the kitchen very therapeutic, because I don't really find I think about anything else. I'm really in the moment. Another thing, when I teach Zumba, I don't have the capacity to think about anything else. It's how I got into Zumba. I was having a really bad day because I'd broken up with someone. So I went to a class for distraction. It was just what I needed. I needed that hour out of the world. So maybe you have a fitness class you go to and it just helps you to focus. Maybe you've gotten out of that habit. Time to get back in. Give yourself that little break from the world, because it's super important. So practical mindfulness is when you are fully in the moment doing a task. Something that preoccupies your mind, but of course something positive that you enjoy. I mean, people love cleaning. Clean something. If that really helps you to switch off, go for it. Next, there's a breathing technique you can do. So what you do is you breathe in as you go up your finger, and you breathe out as you go down. And you breathe in again and out. Then you'll breathe in and out. Breathing in, out, in and out. Super simple. You can do it with children as well. Really try and think about how you're breathing in through the nose. We're expanding our rib cage forwards into the side. So we're really expanding our full rib cage to allow as much oxygen to get into your bodies. Don't forget, your lungs go right down back to your last rib. So if you feel in your back where your last rib is, your lungs are big. So make sure you're using their full capacity, focusing on the 5-fingered breathing. But there's also the anti-anxiety breathing I do sometimes with clients, and at the end of Pilates, where you breathe in for a count, you hold your breath for the same count, and you breathe out for a count. So it can be a 4 count. Now, if you struggle with the counting and the tempo, put on some music, some slow music, some instrumental music, and just breathing in for that count, allowing yourself to breathe, because that tells your central nervous system, when you slow your breath down, it reassures your central nervous system that you are okay. Okay, so right now, we need to reassure our bodies we are safe, we are okay. Of course, we are all a little bit worried and anxious about what's happening in the world, but we just need to try and control our anxiety as best we can. So I hope those top 5 tips really help you. And I'm going to leave you with a little quote I found. It's by Desmond Tutu. Because I don't think we can ever give up hope, because there are always good people in the world. We hear on the news all about the bad things that happen in the world. And a bit like Russell Howard does the good news at the end of his programme, we need some of that right now, because there are so many people rallying together to support other human beings, okay? Hope is being able to see that there is light despite of the darkness. So keep looking for that light. Keep that hope alive. All we can do is what's within our control. That's why I started this fundraiser, because I'm like, how can I help? Well, this is how I know. I'm going to use the community we have built to come together, to dance, to prove that love, acceptance, tolerance, community are powerful. Love is more powerful than hate. Thank you for joining me today. I hope it fills you with some positivity and hope in itself for the week to come. Thank you so much for supporting me. Once again, I am always so grateful, amazed, humbled, and just grateful for all that we achieved together. So thank you for joining. I will see you again next week, I'm sure. Don't know what I'll be talking about, but I will let you know in advance. Thank you for watching, and thank you so much for your support. Take care. Have a wonderful Sunday. Goodbye.
I make see again.